Morning. Blushling, congrats on 3K. But wait, I don't know if you know who Kipu is or not, but I saw Kipu post something yesterday or today, I guess, about their X-rank powers too. All the actual good Hydra players are popping off lately. It's not many. That weapon does suck. Any Hydra player will tell you it does suck, but in the right hands, you can just mow them down. Keon! Harry. Epic Pikachu, Baki, thank you for the subscription. Techie or Amelia? Let's go with Techie. You're giving me the option there. Falco's ready to learn. You got a lot of learning you need to do. You have no idea what you're talking about. Who are you gonna face in Grands? How crazy would that be, Falco? If your team just went on this like amazing run and you just made like top 16, and then you like take a game off of somebody like a Starburst or something. Like what? Do you have a pop off in mind? This might ban me from the Inco. Everyone in the back of their mind has like a planned pop-off, if it comes down to it. Gotta be ready just in case. You don't want to just sit there with like, yay, we won. Like, no, that's lame. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Popcast. Whenever you're listening to this, whether it be live or VOD, Twitch or YouTube, or Spotify, while you are upset that you didn't get to use blue pencil in the last proving grounds, asking people in help desk if they're planning on bringing their pet rabbit to Low Tide City, banning Kendrick Lamar from Low Inc. due to their results that they gained this past weekend. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to this. Unless I don't. If you are the person who enjoys listening to Splatoon-related podcasts, and considering you're listening to me, I would assume you're in the market for stuff like this. Check out Glitched Cactus on YouTube. Just search Glitched Cactus on YouTube. Just did an interview with Magic 8 Ball. A rather lengthy, like an hour and 45 minutes. I listened to it half on Saturday and half on Sunday. Good listen. They talk a lot about weapon bans. But there is a lot of LTC stuff sprinkled in at the beginning. So much so, I kind of wish they would just spend the whole time talking about LTC and land stuff in general. I was like, no, like continue on this topic. But if you're interested in stuff like that and you're looking for something to listen to on your flight or extremely long drive or whatever, however you're traveling, or if you're not even traveling to this because you're not going, I highly recommend listening to that. I enjoyed listening to it. I assume you will as well. We got a big, meaty episode of the Popcast here today. We got a lot of stuff we need to cover, so let's not waste any time, and let's get right into it. News of tournaments that may be of interest to the casual listener. of the Popcast. Low Ink is next weekend. That's going to be weird for us. We're going to, a good meaty chunk of the Low Ink staff is going to be at LTC. And we have to turn around and verify hundreds of players, hundreds of teams, and do a Low Ink the following weekend. It's going to be a little crazy, but make sure you sign up for that and knock that out of the way. The Sindow Q season finals are going to take place at the end of the month. So if you're looking to be, I believe, the top 12 teams to move on for that, if you feel like you have what it takes to be a top 12 team, now's the time to kind of grind those sets, playing Sindow tournaments, get as many points as you can. And or don't. You can still watch it at the end of the month. I believe IPL has already announced that it's going to be on there. At least we put it out on the calendar. Today we are going to be previewing Low Tide City. This is going to be taking place this weekend in Round Rock, Texas. We're going to be talking about as many of the 79 teams that signed up for this tournament that we possibly can. Not going to talk about every single team because that would take way too long, and sometimes there's just absolutely nothing to say about a specific team because, like, who even are you? I don't know. We'll find out, though. All that and more. But first, we got to recap the week. Paddling pool number 265 took place last Wednesday. It was won by Squidding Tenshi, a combination of Squidding Good and AFC Tenshi. 3 Arbis for the W took second place, and third place went to Mickey Prime 4000 XP. The team that finished in third place had members such as Phoenix and Yoshell. So that shows you how strong of a tournament this is if those kinds of players finished in third place. The format for this tournament switched to double limb from the group to single limb format, I'm assuming because there was less than 32 teams playing in it. Later that night, SOS number 146 took place. Porter Betting took home the gold in the Great White Bracket. Harshy Love Stands was second place, and Fun Comps only rounds out your top 3. I have no idea what Fun Comps only used, but it had to have been something good to at least make podium in this tournament here. Hammerhead was won by Splatana. Mako Bracket was won by Dave and Busters, which I don't think there is a Dave and Busters in Round Rock, by the way. And Lantern Bracket was won by WD40. How did that happen? Okay. Friday's Triton Cup number 77 took place, and it was won by Hey. Second place was ASC Tenchi, and third place was Santos plus Medi. AFC Tenchi, without the support of Squidding Good, isn't good enough for them to win this tournament, but they still take second place. I think I saw AFC Tenchi is one of the top 10 teams in the Sindow Q standings right now, which is pretty cool to see. We'll see how that shakes up towards the end of the season. Squid Junction number 67 took place later on Saturday night. It was won by Chan. Duck Motif took second place, and Flop Nation brings home the bronze. 27 teams played in this Dapple Productions NA tourney. Still on the Battle 5 fight. Still refusing to move over to Sindow. Keep it up. It's now become to a point where Battle 5 tournaments are just nostalgic. And just seeing that dark background just really brings joy, I'm assuming, to somebody's heart. Battle 5 is not that bad. It's just all the ads that they've added on are absolute garbage. The CCA League Season number 7 Playoff Week 2 report brought to you by Krona. In Division 1, the University of Central Florida, the Night Sharks knock off the Big Fat Sea Cows from VCU 5-3. The Night Sharks prove, even though they came into playoffs as a second seed, they are still a huge threat to win the championship. They beat the Big Fat Sea Cows. Those teams finished in 4th place in Low Ink a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago. Division 2, Purdue University beat Florida State 5-1. Division 3, California State University Long Beach beat their University of California Davis rivals 5-0. Long Beach is the first team to punch their ticket to grand final match this season. Division 4, the University of Florida beat University of Texas at Dallas 5-4. Okay, so these are best of 9 sets now in the playoffs. That one went all the way to a game 9. The Gators chomp the Texas at Dallas team. Division 5, Arkansas State University. I believe the Red Wolves is the mascot of that university because they were in the same conference as Western Kentucky back when I went to Western Kentucky. Arkansas State beat DePaul University 5-1. In Division 6, Auburn University got a 5-2 win over the California State University San Bernardino. 5-2. So that is the report for the playoffs from last week. Announcement: after a quick game show interlude, the normal in-season coverage of the podcast returns with episode 19 of the podcast scheduled for this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to the podcast team cover the pivotal playoff matches that have happened so far and speculate on what is to come. All previous episodes are available on the CCA YouTube channel as well. Follow them, CCA_Splatoon, on all the stuff to keep up with what they're doing. And that was your weekly recap. Sponsored by headphones that specifically have a 3.5 millimeter auxiliary jack. It is quite impressive how many people are going to the Low Tide City help desk trying to clarify specifically what kind of headphones they need for the event. And it only dawned on me that like the only headphones I use for like anything I do in my real life are like the white earbuds or like the ones that connect to your iPhone. So yeah, like these headphones will be, well, not be used because I'm not playing in the event, but this is a headphone that you would be looking for. I'm not going to unplug it because that might screw up the stream or whatever, but this exact pair of headsets is what I've been using for LANs since you were required to start bringing your own headsets. This particular pair was used by Haya in the grand finals when they played against Starburst last season or last year. So this is a historic pair. When there is a Splatoon Hall of Fame, I will donate this headset to the Hall of Fame so it can be put up on display. But if you have something like this, you're going to be good. And oh my goodness, you are going to want some headphones. Make sure yours actually work. Headphones with 3.5 millimeter auxiliary jacks. The official sponsor of today's segment of the weekly recap. Do TM1s even support USB headsets? That is a question for TOs. But I would bet you if anybody were to go to the Low Tide City help desk and scroll up, you'll probably find someone who's asked that same question already, and it's probably already been answered. But you know, the last time we were at Low Tide City, they didn't use like those traditional TM1s that we've had before, where it's just that one brick that everybody had to like plug into in the middle of the table. Like each individual person had their own little like controller knob thing. I don't even know if they're called like TM1s or what their official names are, but I don't know. No idea. It is Low Tide City week. It snuck up on us, didn't it? You didn't think this day was going to come, but it is here. By this time next week, people are going to be on their planes flying home, tweeting out, "Oh, I'm so sad already. I'm crying. I miss everyone. The post-land depression is a real thing. Oh, it's so horrible that this is over." Like, that's the point where we're at right now, and it's exciting. Land season is always fun. Always a good time. And this just so happens to be the biggest, just like last year, the new biggest Splatoon LAN of all time. We're assuming. Like, we always say that with, like, okay, well, was there anything that happened in like Japan that's bigger? Like, I'm assuming, but maybe somebody in chat can point out, oh, this event took place in Japan that had 6,000 people in it or something like that. The numbers, as the last time that I checked, and if you were looking for like exact specific information, I don't have it on a lot of this stuff, but the last time I checked, well, actually, I can just check that right now, can I? We'll hit the attendees button, and then we will filter for Splatoon. There are 341 squids and octolings that are signed up for this event. And that's just the people participating in it. That doesn't include the people that are going just as spectators or volunteers or staff or whatever. My wife and I are going. We are not a part of that 341 because we're just signed up as spectators. So there's going to be a lot more people than just that 341. I have absolutely no idea what to expect. So if you're looking for this to be a preview of like what to expect going into this LAN, I would recommend checking out Falco's stream. That's going to be at 9:30 Eastern time on Wednesday. And even then we might have more like information on like what the room is going to be like. We don't know what the format of this event is. And I think that's still being worked out. The only quote I saw from Magic 8 Ball on Twitter about the format is that it is going to be, quote, bonkers. So I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's not going to be some sort of waterfall format that they tried at Big House or whatever. But the thing is, when you have 79 teams and you have 2 days to whittle them down to the best team, how do you do that? Obviously, they're going to have a lot more stations than what they've had in the past. I think there was like 5 stations, not including the stream station, last year. I've heard rumors of 10 stations being up. Now, that will mean you think like, okay, well, now there's more teams. That doesn't mean there's going to be more streamed matches or anything. Like, you're just going to have more matches that happen off stream, and it's going to mean that there's a whole lot more folks that aren't going to be on stream at all, unless there's some sort of like at Riptide there was that secondary stream in the corner of the room that went to Prochara's Twitter. I don't know if that kind of thing is going to happen again. I haven't seen anything that would suggest it would. But yeah, it's I'm very curious to see like what this setup is going to be. The first Low Tide City, everything was in one room. Like all the Smash, Rivals of 8th Year, and Splatoon were all in this one gigantic room. The last LTC, they decided to give Splatoon their own room separate from all the Smash stuff, which was great. The size of the room was about the size of Melee's Final Destination, except instead of spaces you could fall off the side, it was just all in one little tiny box. It was comical, and will be something we will look back on years later and be like, I can't believe the biggest LAN at the time was ran in a room that size. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know if they're going to just get a humongous room and just put everything in once, or Splatoon's going to be in their own room or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Well, I mean, I do care, but those are answers we're going to find out when we, in a couple of days anyway. So I'm not going to sit here and waste time speculating or kind of figuring that out. Instead, what I'm going to tell you guys here today is what you can get out of this event. If you've been listening to any episode where I talk about LANs, which I know you have, I usually go in a rant about eating salads instead of burgers. I'll do that real briefly here. I don't think AirSign is listening because I saw AirSign was not going to be there. They're going out of the country. But for the sake of briefness, don't eat a burger on Thursday or Friday, because you're going to be eating a lot of burgers on Friday and Sunday, because that's going to be the only options you have. Eat salads the first days that you're there, something light early, because you're going to be eating a lot of junk food over the course of the weekend, because you're not going to have much other choice. It is how it is. That pizza place is pretty good, though. I'm not going to lie. That Pizza by the Slice place that's close to the convention center, always like that place. But aside from that, I had to squeeze that in there somewhere. Why are you going to this event? Because this is a social event. Yes, there is a ginormous LAN tournament that's going to be taking place. That is secondary to what you're actually going to be participating in. This is Splatoon Con that you are going to, essentially. This is a giant Splatoon convention. And when you look at the people that are going here, it kind of gets the sense that that's like the case. You got a lot of big shots, a lot of content creators well known across casual and competitive side of Splatoon that are going to be there. Dude, Prochara, Vic, Jim from Squid School, and my personal favorite, the and I'm not going to tell you who this person is by name specifically because I don't want like any kind of like anyone to be weird about it to this person, but the most famous help desk moment in the past year, when the person went to Low Ink and told Brush, either fix this before you and your entire org get in trouble. That person is going to be at Low Tide City. Like, all the big name stars of the community are going to be there, and I'm super excited for it. It's going to be a fun time. And more importantly, you guys are going to be there. Whether you're going to be actually physically there or you're going to be there by watching everybody post pictures and videos about it all weekend long, and you're going to experience it through that. As somebody who missed out on Riptide last year because my son was born and there was no way I could even consider sneaking away from the house for like the first several months while that little guy was rolling around. I missed out on it. And I thought there was going to be some FOMO, some fear of missing out. Like, oh no, this is something I can't get. And whenever they do like these like commentary meetings before like all these LAN events, they always tell us like, you know, you want to hype up how exciting this event is. You want to convey to the audience how much fun everything is, which is true. But the reason behind that is to make people feel like, oh, I want to go to the next one because I don't want to miss stuff like that in the future. If you're not going to this Low Tide City, you might feel like you're missing out on some stuff, but you can still experience the event just by looking through everything that's going on, like everything that people are posting. That can you physically be there at the fire pit? No, but can you still get the same kind of sense of how the event is going on by watching the stream and by following everybody who's talking about it? Yes, I've got that kind of sense. And, you know, it kind of helps if you know what's actually going on and you like been to those things before. And I highly recommend before you die or leave the planet in some way to attend a LAN at some point because it is a whole heck of a lot of fun. If you want to get the most value out of this event, though, you need to talk to people. Again, this is a social event. And look, I understand that the vast majority of people that are going to be at this event, and by vast majority, I mean 100% of the people that are going to be at this event are introverts. We're all weirdos online. And, you know, some people we've seen before. Some of you we've only ever seen with mask on, and some of you are going to introduce yourself to somebody, and we're not going to have any idea who you are because you're not going to come up to Falco and say, "Hi, Falco, my name is Popgun." You're going to go up to Falco and be like, "You're Falco," and Falco's going to be like, "Yeah, who the hell are you?" So, like, remember, tell people who your name is when you introduce yourself to them. And here's the thing. Nobody is unapproachable. I have yet to meet a single person at a Splatoon event who is unapproachable. And if they are unapproachable, it's probably someone you don't really want to interact with anyways. Like, if you want to go up to somebody who you like is like a well-known person, like, odds are they're going to be chill and receptive to that. And if they're not, then they're just not. But like, most people are going to be cool with it. I am totally fine, and I want you to come up and talk to me. Again, tell me who you are first, but like, that's the whole point of this, is to get to know people. I've been working and practicing. I'm trying to get good at turning awkward things into conversations. Like I'm trying to twist, like find ways to create conversations when I meet new people. It's extremely uncomfortable on my part. I have never been somebody who talks, and it's really easy for me to talk here because I'm literally just talking into a wall right now. Like you guys are nowhere near me, so it's easy to do this. But I'm trying to get better at talking to people in person. So give me plenty of opportunities to practice that. And it's going to be a fun time. Like, don't be afraid to go up and talk to people. That's what the fire pit is all about. That's why they provide those posters. Posters are really good icebreakers. If you're like, oh man, I want to go up to dude, but I don't know. Like, he might be like, go away, kid, or he might punch me in the face or something. Like, if you get a poster and you go up to dude and you're like, hey, dude, can you sign my poster? And I like your content. Like I learned how to do motion controls off of that video you posted in Splatoon 2. There's plenty of ways to get around that kind of awkward thing. And the more people you talk to, the more you're going to enjoy this event. If you don't enjoy this event, I wager it's because you have yet to find a way to get out of your comfort zone. And that is totally fine. Absolutely 100% totally fine. But you're not going to have too many situations in your life where you're going to be at a place surrounded by people that all enjoy this stupid video game the same way that you do. Like how many times do you go to your friends or your coworkers or whatever and you're just like talking about Splatoon and they're like, I don't really know what that is, or I think you're kind of weird, or that's a video game for kids. You be playing Call of Duty. No, like this is the one place where all that is kind of celebrated. Take advantage of it. You'll have a much better time if you do. I promise you. So you're probably saying to yourself, but Pop Gun, who all is going to be there? You just listed off all the people that everybody knows. Who else is going to be there? Well, you've came to the right place. If you would just calm down and listen, I am about to go over most of these 79 teams that are currently signed up for this event. And can I do it in 35 minutes? You bet your keister I can. And if I can't, then this one will just go a little bit long. But we'll see how it goes. Now, a few disclaimers here. As we hit the F11 button to full screen that monitor. There is a lot of teams here that I know absolutely nothing about. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to skip right over them. I don't think I can make this any bigger either. So, but who cares? This is the start.gg thing that we're looking at right now. But if I don't say something about your team today, you are more than welcome to point it out to me in person on Friday. You didn't say anything. Hey, we are driving with influence. We have an absolutely horrible team name. You didn't say anything about us other than that. You can be like, okay, cool. Like, we could take a picture. You know, how are you? It's nice to meet you. I think last year I said Thimbo IHOP. I didn't know who Lynn was. I was like, whoever this person is. And then Lynn absolutely ripped people apart in that tournament. And I was like, oh, I now know who Lynn is. So there's plenty of ways to make names for yourself, even if you aren't well known. Starting with Song of Storms. Perfect example. I don't know anything about these players, and I am also not going to click on these rosters to pull them up. While it'd be super cool, a lot of you are going to dox yourselves by doing that because some of you do have your first and last name completely spelled out. Go through the settings and make sure you check off that kind of thing. Otherwise, I mean, if you're someone who doesn't care if people know your first and last name, then so be it. But the point being, I think there's a lot of you who don't even realize that you are currently blasting your full name out there. Start.gg is kind of weird like that. So I don't have anything to say about Song of Storms. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Orange Bulborb. Baja Bass Balloon. I'm assuming that's Umbre, even though I can't really see that. And Citrus. This team is going to be pretty doggone good. Balloon has only done, the worst Balloon has done at a low tide city is 4th place. Back when they were in Crown 9, the first one finished in 2nd place the last time. Baja Blast was a part of the team that eliminated last. No, they didn't eliminate Last Resort, but that was one of the more quality wins that they had in the opening round. So Orange Bulborb is going to be a solid team playing in this event. And I didn't do like a who's going to make top 12 or whatever. We'll throw that. Orange Bulborb is going to be our first top 12 team. We'll just do that along the spot here. Mickey Mart is the next team we're going to be talking about. And oh, wow, we're starting off with a bang right off the top. I said at the Genesis preview that Mickey Mart was not going to win Genesis. And what did they do? They won Genesis, literally just dunking on everybody there, including a 3-0 sweep over In Control Red Sun in grand finals. The question at that time was, well, they can win Genesis. And they proved that you can do it without using Cooler, and you can use Bow, and they proved any tournament can be won without using the meta. Okay, let's see how that works against Moonlight and Starburst and the other Zenith pickup we're going to be talking about a little bit later. So I am going to double down and say, yet again, Mickey Mart is not going to win LTC. I don't think that's a spicy take. I think we all know who's actually going to win this tournament. I will say this, though. If they make podium at this event, it's going to be more impressive than when they won Genesis, considering the teams that are here. Vitamin C. This is not the Vitamin C that you all know and love from like 2016 or something like that. Splatoon Lily, Magic being a part of that one. Instead, this is the Vitamin C that is made up of PTW, formerly of Tooniverse. Former teammate of my wife. So that is what Vitamin C is here. UCSD Esports Gold. Now, there are a ton of college teams that played in this event last year, and we didn't really recognize, or I didn't recognize who all was and wasn't a college team, because not everybody has their college right there in the name, slapping you right in the face. We're from UCSD. Okay, well, some of these teams are like called Buttfart McGee, and they're like, oh, well, we're representing Princeton. It's like, what? So I'm assuming there's a lot more college teams sprinkled out through here. And by the way, if you want me to pay attention to any message in chat, leave a highlighted message, and I'll make sure we'll get to it at some point, because I'm sure somebody's going to be like, well, what's cracking is actually from Colorado State. I'm like, oh, okay. Jelly Squids. Yes, we love the Jelly Squids around here because they made a really funny sign about me last year. They finished second place in Silver Bracket last year to the team we're going to be talking about a little bit coming up. But Jelly Squids, here you are. Second place, second time coming back for LTC. Happy to see you. The Whip Rays are going to set a record at some point. And I don't know if there is a record for this, but if you could say what like name brand team, maybe not the four exact same players time after time, but what name brand team has been to the most lands, I would assume Assault to Pepper holds the record for most times a individual team has been to like lands in general. The Whip Rays are going to surpass that at some point, because they've been to literally every single land the past several ones that have come out. They've been to the last LTC, Riptide, and they were at Genesis, or at least Sofa King was. So the Whip Rays are just spanning the globe and continuing the march down the world. Aquatic Land Guard. Yes, they're actually named themselves after their actual team, versus last time they were like Wahoo Pole fans or something like that. And it's like, wait a minute, you all have or had played for Aquatic Vanguard at some point. Why not just call yourself Aquatic Vanguard? And here we are with Aquatic Land Guard. By the way, has Ike got engaged? Has Ike been officially married or not yet? Otherwise, I don't have much else to say about Aquatic Land Guard. I'm glad they're coming back. They did win the Silver Bracket last year. Congrats to them. Elemental not to be confused with the old team Elemental R. So this team is made up of Melania, and Dude. You might have heard those names. By the way, Mel is one of the people I didn't mention in the like Splatoon A-listers. When I listed off that a few minutes ago, my bad. But this is going to be one of those teams where you're going to play against them, and as soon as you're done playing against them, you're going to be like, hey, can you sign my poster? Like, you're just going to be like, that's Dude, that's Mel on the other side. There's a couple of teams that have, like, loaded with some really cool people on it, and this is one of those teams for sure. And, yes, if you beat this team, Don't just go to Twitter and be like, we beat dude. Like, no, you beat Elemental Erm. Of course, give the team some actual credit here. Fish Cubed. Low ink alert. Low ink alert. We got a low ink team. One of the many legit actual low ink teams here. Oh, I guess the Whip Rays are also like an actual legit low ink team. But the Fish Cube team. Make sure you get a picture with me and Brush at some point. You're not getting a low ink band certificate because you're not banned from low ink, but we'll still give you like a high five or something. We love our low ink team, so we just want to support them. Next team that we're going to talk about here. Oh, we smoking symbiotes. Okay, this team's going to be pretty good. We'll give them the other mark as well. If there is a top 12, they're going to be one of the team that's going to be vying for that spot in the top 12. Set2 Lux has been playing it in a lot of events. Mark them down. They're one of the top 12 teams. The final top 12 teams. I have no idea how big Top Cut is going to be. Bomb Sniffers. If you did not play Splatoon 1, you don't know what this is. If you did, well, there you go. There was the ability to let you sniff bombs or something. So there it is. There's your Bomb Sniffer team. Your pizza were good, though. I forgot to Google what this Urban Dictionary reference is supposed to be. But, okay. There is some good pizza at Low Tide City. We'll give them that. Shout-outs to Hayden and Reef, who are going to be playing for this team. The He-They squad. Now, this is notable because they have tomato and corn on their team. And that has got to be... At first, I was thinking, well, that's a really gross combo. But then I just started to realize, wait a minute, that's basically just the Cobb salad. So the He-They squad feels like a delicious team going into this one. Who is not a delicious team, though. And if you're a Strawberry Soda fan from the last Low Ink, I gotta give you a pat on the back because... you now no longer have the worst soda team name that we could come up with. Mint Soda sounds absolutely disgusting, way worse than what Strawberry Soda would be. Now, they're called Mint Soda because they got a player named Minty on their team, but Mint Soda, that is gross. And if you bring it, I'll try it. Painted Knights, a former Low Ink team that we haven't seen in a long time. They seem to be coming back here, and they actually got a pretty cool logo. As opposed to everybody else who either doesn't have one. Shoutouts to Fish Cube. They do got a cool logo, which is actually significant here. The Variety Squad, don't have much to say about this team. They misspelled variety, but that since that happened here, I'm assuming they're just playing from Splatfest with the team names that are coming up right there. October Rift. There we go. There we go, October Rift, another name brand Low Ink team. I'm excited to meet these fellers. They made a little hype video about themselves back in September of last year, or was it August of last year? They did not win the October Low Ink. They're 5 months away from winning this Low Ink. They're not going to win this one because it's taking place in May as well. But shout out to October Rift, actual name brand Low Ink team. The last team name on this page... and you can't see it because my webcam's cutting it off. It is called Getting Splatty with Daddy. Next. All right. Now, rocks fall, everyone dies. Now, we have a... okay, actually, I don't think I have much to say about this team, other than I see that they have a rock falling on an Octolink for this. I thought this Stripes person was somebody who I thought it wasn't. I thought it was Strings, but then I saw Strings coming up a little bit later in a different team. But I still feel like I should know who Stripes is. Dokari sounds kind of familiar too as well, but I'm getting old, so who knows. In Control Red Sun is going to be taking place in this event, and yes, they are going to be a top 12 team, and no, the window for them to actually play and win a LAN has closed. If they wanted to get the win, they should have done it in Genesis. This time around, though, instead of having Pika as their fourth, they're bringing in Dan the Man, just like Balloon. The best result Dan the Man, or the worst result that Dan the Man has gotten at a Low Tide City is fourth place, got second place last year as well. And played for Red Sun when they got second place in Riptide. So nicely done for Red Sun to bring back some like their older LAN players. Will that transition into them having their best LAN event yet? I don't know. They're still going to be a solid team. And hopefully In Control is actually paying for them to go to these things, because In Control has been sticking with Red Sun for several years now. Sweet Tooth. Gotta love me some Sweet Tooth. I don't know why they don't have their actual logo. This is a real team. We haven't seen Sweet Tooth play in a while. This team is not a top 12 contender. They are a top 12 lock. They are going to make top cut. Daybreak, Kaido, and Junkie are all a part of that original Sweet Tooth team. And, by the way, their fourth just so happens to be Sir Skit, who went nuts with Blaster the last time they were playing at Low Tide City. This is the best team that Sir Skit has played for at Low Tide City, and this is going to be a solid team. Daybreak and Sir Skit, fellow Destiny Troop alum, going to be rooting hard for this team. I should drink water every now and then. Could be Stripes from Ominous. We're talking about Ominous in a minute. Mojo Dojo. This is a Low Inc team, isn't it? They're either Low Inc or LSL, because I remember saying that name, Mojo Dojo. I'm pretty sure this is a Low Inc team. I don't know what Casa House stands for, but yet another, chalk them down for yet another Low Inc team playing in this event. Guns N' Roses. This is going to be a solid team. I hesitate putting them in the top 12, but as you look through this event, you're like, okay, a lot of these teams you don't really know. Some you actually do, but these are LAN veterans that are playing in this one. Rose Arrow, Dayfornape Dio, and I believe that is, I forget. I didn't write down the last players that was on this one. Oh, well. Woomph. That is who it is. Woomph. So, yeah, this is a solid team. Guns N' Roses. We know who the Rose is, so is Dio the gun? By the way, if anybody would know who all the college teams are in Texas that are going here, it would be Dio. Has done a lot. I believe University of Houston helped growing that Splatoon scene out there. Throwing is fine. This is the same team that is This Is Fine that plays in Low Inc. So we got yet another actual legit Low Inc team playing in this event. So happy that actual teams are coming out to this one. I don't know if this is the same Kit Kat team that we've been talking about in Low Inc a lot, because I forgot to look at the rosters before this one. But a Kit Kat themed team is continuing the tradition of having Kit Kats at this event. Try not to sneak any Kit Kats into the venue, but if you do, make sure I get one of those. The Pencil Hunters, shout out to Carbine, going to be playing in this event, I believe from Kansas State. I'd be willing to bet that this is a Kansas State team just based off of Carbine alone, but I could be wrong. I have been before a few times. Pencil Hunters, don't worry. I'm assuming you're going to get a lot of opportunity to hunt down pencils in this event. It's pretty good right now. Persistence is going to be here, and am I going to give Persistence a top cut slot? No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. They're still going to be a strong team. And by the way, is that Rocky from Rising Matrix? I believe that is. Wug taking place with this team along with the brush player, the super annoying brush player, and Stormy. So Persistence is going to be good. I'm not saying that they're going to make top cut, though. Not going to happen. That's my GOAT, OBT and Boshin, some of the chillest, cool people that we have in the at these LAN events coming back out here. That's your GOAT, okay? Fair enough. This is not going to be the GOAT team, but it's still going to be a fun team to see. Shoutouts to OBT and Boshin. Clean Bathtub. Okay, so this tub team always comes out and plays at every LTC, and they always get underrated, and they always pop off and get like monster upsets against people. So if you're looking for a team you probably haven't heard of and not really sure what to expect from them, this tub team is going to be extremely tough for anybody to beat. Anybody to beat. But not for this team. This team is the first big name. They have an opportunity to win this tournament kind of thing. And yes, Flex Mint, the second Mint-themed team that we have signed up for this event, is the other team, is one of the three teams that has an opportunity to actually win this one. Max, Zenith, Half, and Helix. That's a pretty good roster to bring to a LAN. If that roster was at Genesis, they would have won Genesis. But they have to be in the same event with Moonlight and Starburst. if I had to take a gamble right now and say who was going to play Starburst in Grand Finals, I I don't know. Moonlight's been grinding a lot, so maybe I would go with Moonlight over that. But I feel like this losers final matchup between this team and Moonlight is gonna be about as close to a toss up as you can get. Maybe favoring Moonlight, but I know these players really don't care. Like if you're looking for the hunters that are at the top level, these are the kind of players that are part of it, and they're not going to be afraid of anybody. If you like pina coladas, there's no secret that there is going to be some consumption of the forbidden juices. I guess I don't know. Like there's going to be alcohol consumption at some portions of this event, and maybe some pina coladas will be consumed at the fire pit. Who knows? Shoutouts to Rose of Battle, who went with us to the barbecue place across the street last time. I think we're going to try to go to the ramen place that is right next to the barbecue place across the railroad track this time around. That ramen place looked pretty good. The barbecue place is fantastic as well, though, if you're looking for like good barbecue, authentic Texas barbecue. Remix. Another legit low ink team. We might as well just have like our first low ink land at this event. Let's just take all the low ink teams, have them do a Swiss stage on Saturday, and then we'll do alpha bracket on Sunday, and then we'll declare that person the winner of low ink for the month of May. Why not? We got so many low ink teams here. Remix being one of them. Shoutouts to Salmon Casserole, mainly because Salmon Casserole sounds delicious. I have it on good authority that there's something pretty cool about this team. This team, according to my source, has a father-daughter combo playing on this team, and that is really cool. I think that is really cool. Is that a life goal for me and PJ? No, it is not. Not even close. But I think that's still a cool kind of moment. And if you lose to this team, I guarantee you, they might just, I don't know, maybe they'll like squid bag you or something. I don't know. Or maybe they'll be super chill. I have no idea. Breadbox, just because they have, and wasn't this Lunchbox or something earlier? I think their team name changed. Maybe it didn't. But they are now Breadbox. Lost has literally finished second place 2 years in a row at LTC. Are they going to finish second place 3 years in a row? I don't think so, but they got a pretty solid lineup that they got here. Joshua being a strong player as well that I've at least heard of. Not really too familiar with the other two players. Essence. This is going to be a really good team as well. Essence is another one of those top 12 locks. Not like a contender, like they're guaranteed to make that spot. So shout outs to Essence. They're going to be here. They're going to be a really solid team. I guess I should put Breadbox in there as well, shouldn't I? That seems to make sense. Yeah, disobeyed. I don't know about the Splatty for Daddy team. I don't know about that. All right. So we're starting off right off the bat. We are not saying that Catnip is going to make top 12. We are saying that Catnip is going to, well, I guess technically you can't make top 5. You'd have to be tied for 5th place with how double limb works. Catnip is going to tie for 5th place in this event. It's going to happen. Another actual legit team that is very experienced with lands. Potato is an insane Charger player. Lunazuka from Sia, now a part of Catnip. Lupples, who finished 2nd place or 3rd place in Proving Grounds last week in 5th gen. Like, this is a loaded, good team that's not a pickup. So, yeah, they're going to make top 5 in this event. It's going to happen. Wait, I'm goated. We now have 2 goated teams, and neither one of them are going to make top cut. So, can you really be the greatest of all time? Who cares? You're allowed to be a little bit happy here. Shoutouts to Avril, not Arvil, as some streams will put it down there. Avril has been playing at several LAN events, a really good Charger player from Splatforce. Even though they've done a lot of things since Splatforce, they will always be known to me as the Avril from Splatforce. And how about Splatver? the former Destiny Cadets from Toxic Haze. I'm excited to meet Splatford for the first time, and I keep forgetting Splatford is going. And then every time I see Splatford is going, I'm like, oh, yes, cool. That's one of the awesome people I want to hang out with and get them to know. Splish Splash. Now, I'm only talking about Splish Splash just because I like saying this team's name. I have this little song whenever we give PJ a bath. It goes like this. Splish Splash, baby in the bath. And I just repeat that for like enough times until my wife gets annoyed. But it's hard to get annoyed because he does a little splish splash when he's in the bathtub. So I like Splish Splash just off their name alone. Cooler on Tower Path. This team is probably not going to play that well just because coolers on Tower Paths usually get eliminated. Shoutouts to Strings. That's where we're looking for. If you are wondering if an IPL tweet has ever come out and it hasn't been bad, it probably came out by Strings. So there you go. Shoutouts to Strings for that. Excited to meet them there. Joe Ryan's going to be playing with the Neo Sunscreen squad. The last time, by the way, when I last checked, like last week, it was supposed to be in the 90s there. I think it's supposed to be down to the 70s. And you're not going to spend a lot of time outside anyways, like the water park's indoors. So don't spend too much time trying to get sunscreen. I think you're going to be fine. Let's see here. Moving on. Black Komodo +1. This is an actual team, but I forgot Black Komodo was a thing. And yet here they are doing their Black Komodo stuff. Speaking of Black Komodo, that reminds me of Acropora, and I think Gravity. Hold on, we're going back. I skipped over Gravity for some reason. Yes, Gravity, right here. Gravity's going to be playing. Gravity, one of the zombie teams returning from disbandment hell to play in this event. Nice to see them here. And I always thinking about them in that Acropora set. Or I know Gravity's not the same thing as Acropora, but I think of those players when the Black Komodo played in a pretty good Ludi set many moons ago. Gas Station Sushi Squad, another one of those teams, shout-outs to Broken Pinky, by the way, but another one of those teams that's just not going to do good because Gas Station Sushi is horrible. So when you name yourself after something horrible, you're either doing it with the mindset of like, okay, we're not going to play well, or we're probably going to poison our opponent or something like that. So maybe that's the angle they're going with here. Prickly Pear Lemonade. Yes, just based off of the teams that are here, Prickly Pear Lemonade is going to be a top cut team. However, they're not going to do more than that. Mudcup, Pika, Pepe, and Shiny, a solid team. Got some Cherry Limeade DNA. Pepe was the player that was a part of Mickey Mart that won Genesis earlier. Strong team. I'm not fully buying into it, though, just yet. Not fully buying into it to go further than just top 12. But they will make top 12. Free Flow. Another one of these actual teams. I believe we owe Free Flow a band certificate. I don't know if they ever got one. And Brush is going to be bringing the Low Ink band certificates out to this event. So if you are legit Low Ink band in a team, we'll make sure to get you that. The only requirement is you have to take a picture of me and Brush handing it to you and like shaking your hand kind of thing. We're going to be awkward about it because it's fun. Rebels and Kia. Now, this used to be called Rebels for Reba, and I believe that is Reba in the photo right there. This is Falco's team. The last tournament Falco is going to be playing in before Falco Jr. is born. So shout outs to all that. That is some exciting stuff. But don't sleep on this team. Falco usually plays pretty good at LAN events. Usually drags everybody to a game 5. I would know because Falco pushed my team to a game 5 in an Ohio event. So this is going to be one of those teams that is going to throw a lot of punches at you. Don't take them lightly just because they got the LAN dad on their roster. Also shout outs to Saf and obviously Kia. Oh, how many more teams are there? This is okay. We're almost done. Easy, squeezy, cracking, cheesy. Nice little logo you got right there. Resonance. Here's where I'm going to blow y'all's mind. Resonance. Now, if you were to if you were to look a little bit deeper into Resonance, and you were just kind of like scratch and sniff their logo or something like that, it kind of looks like ominous. Kind of smells like ominous. It is. They've rebranded, I believe, to Resonance. I'm going to throw this out there. Resonance is going to make top 12 at this event. That's right. I said it. It's not going to be easy. They're going to have to grind their way through Redemption Bracket, which is really fun and extremely stressful. But I'm throwing it out there right now. Resonance is going to make top 12. You know who else is going to make top 12? Memento, Cosmos, Fusion, Bronze, and I forget who the last black person is there, and I'm not going to click on it to figure out exactly what it is. Shout out to Fusion running Sea Battle, Bronze for being a part of every land. Does Bronze do anything other than just go to lands? Like that seems to be the entire thing that Bronze does, period. Memento's going to make top 12. I might have less teams than the top 12 teams that we have here. And of course, we still got some strong teams coming up. Moonlight. The good news is that this is the actual Moonlight team. They're full roster top to bottom. Omega, Shadow, Nolan, and Basil. So their actual legit team is going to be here, and that is cool. This isn't like Last Light that we saw at Riptide. Now, anything short of grand finals, I think would be, I don't want to say a failure, but I feel like it would be less than like what they're shooting for. The question is, can they compete with Starburst if they get to a grand finals? I'm going to be looking up the stats between those two teams, and it's not going to be pretty, I don't think. But it's still going to be a more competitive grand finals than we've ever seen at Low Tide City, if they can get past the Zenith pickup team, which is going to be extremely difficult for them to do. But I don't know. I don't know how competitive exactly they're going to be with Starburst is just the question I'm going to have there. They're going to be a fan favorite. And if they get to a grand finals against Starburst and they start like any kind of push and they get any kind of lead, the crowd is going to go nuts. I don't think they have I don't think they could beat a Starburst land team though. I just don't think it could happen. I know they've been grinding for this event. They're streaming a lot of their scrims lately. Field trips. Shout out to Toma for this team that has been playing in SOS, I believe, a couple of times to get prepared for this event. Nicely done to them. They have a F for their logo. That is never a good sign. Sleep-deprived cephalopods. I got to give them a shout out because they're one of the few teams that have cephalopod in their name. In fact, I think they're the only cephalopod team that we have in this tournament. Isn't it weird that once you graduate from low rank, you see 0 teams called cephalopod, but within like Little Squid League alone, you have like 20. So cephalopod, we've now found the sleep-deprived variant of cephalopods. There we go. Ice Storm, it's going to be anything but an Ice Storm at LTC. It is probably going to be hot as balls out there. Seagull, and I forgot to bring this up, but Hello Kello is on Seagull, as well as Mothman there. I know what Mothman is on the getting cut off right there. But Hello Kello has a calendar that is downstairs in our kitchen right now, and we have a lot of our stuff written on it. It's very important to keep track of calendar stuff if you're going to be parents in this world. So we got a cool little calendar that we bought from Hello Kello, and we'll probably buy one again next year. Heaven's Rejects. That is basically just another way of saying you're going to hell, which is fine. You know, we'll have plenty of company down there. IMAD and Miss Pixie 6 going to be the people representing this team of a bunch of people that are going to hell. So be it. I'll drink to that. For the content. It's you got some Griller DNA here with Devi and Jim, and you got Vic in there as well. It would be absolutely hilarious if they come out with groups and the Mel Dude team is on there with the Vic Jim team, and like you're like the third team in that group, and like you're just playing with a bunch of people that you probably follow on like YouTube and Twitter, and you just got to play them back to back. Like, how much fun would that be? Probably not a whole lot of fun, but there's probably going to be a lot of people that are super excited to be that. I need to spend more time talking to Vic. Vic, I didn't really talk to at all at Big House. I need to spend more time doing that. and trying to convince them to come on to Proving Grounds for commentary. Secret Elixir going to avenge what they did at Genesis. This time around, they are making top 12. It is going to happen. Secret Elixir, come on down. Kurta being the reigning captain of the year, the Popcast captain of the year from last year. Glitch Cactus. Can we make this the first land where chairs do not go flying? Like there's got to be some way we could end that ridiculous streak here. I'm almost tempted to just follow Cactus around whenever they're playing and just like spot somebody, like you would if they're lifting weights, just spot them through that. Like we got to make sure chairs do not go flying this time around. Let's do that. Six-pack yolks, yet another low ink team, and this team is my favorite because I bought a shirt from them, and I'm super excited to get that shirt. I love getting Splatoon shirts. I got one from Smoothie last year. I got the Whaley Phantoms. I got a Griller shirt with my name on it in the back, and I'm getting a six-pack yolk shirt. If you guys are making jerseys and you are like selling them, I will buy them all the time because I like collecting those things. Also, huge shout out to the six-pack yolks for having a team jersey that isn't black. You see so many players and teams that just wear nothing but black the entire weekend. Like, we get it. It's cool. It's edgy. But, like, don't be afraid to wear some color, like, every now and then. Like, it's totally fine to not have just every single team be one specific color. Like, we can mix in some other rainbow stuff going on here. Can we get the Starburst in the last Honor Bound? Yet another low ink team coming out and playing this one. Logo is a whip. Interesting. Lost Inklings, yet another low ink team. Lost Inklings was here last year. And I believe have been playing at other events as well. I believe the Lost Inklings, at least I know Teresa was playing at like a Smash and Splash, so as a very established LAN veteran. I don't think I talked to Lost Inklings at all last year. I want to change that because they are a fun team, and we want to get to know the fun teams that come out to this event. Speaking of which, there is no team that I am more excited to meet than Krill Streak. The first time that Destiny Troops, and we might have been known as Sploot Troops back then, played Krill Streak, I believe was in like the second or like the actual season 1 of SAC back in like 2020. I want to say that it is, as I'm looking through my Destiny Troop yearbook here. Did we play? We did. We played Krill Streak on a Friday ladder SAC opener on January the 17th, 2020. We beat them, according to my Destiny Troop low book here. But I'm super excited to meet Krill Streak because they've been on the team for at least 4 years, according to my records. And they're all super chill. So I'm excited to meet them. The last team we're going to talk about here is the team that is going to win this entire event for the second year in a row, Starburst. I don't care what the Zenith pickup is going to do or what Moonlight thinks they're going to do. Starburst owns this tournament, so they're going to win this tournament. The only thing worth noting here is that Zero is in place of Ice, so Ice is not here. At least last I checked, Ice is not on the roster. It's just Brand, Bagel, Jared. No, it's not Zero. I'm talking about Jared is here in place of Ice. Zero has been playing with Starburst pretty regularly since like Biscuit left. So it's Ice that is being replaced by Jared here in this event. So here's the thing. Starburst routinely has been kind of robotic at the events. Like they're never really super excited, or they win like Big House and they're like, yeah, cool, we win. Zero is probably the most energetic person that is here, and I'm hoping Grand Finals is at least competitive so that we can get some like energy up on the stage. Not saying like somebody should be shouting at somebody across the map or whatever, but it'd still be nice to get a little bit of energy and excitement going on here. It's probably not going to happen because Starburst is just that good, and they'll take care of business is what I'm assuming they're going to do. Oh, again, apologies if I didn't have anything to say about your guys' teams, but that is a lot. There are a lot of folks that are going to be at this event. And by the way, Riptide's going to be bigger than this. Like, there's nothing to suggest that Riptide isn't going to leapfrog this yet again as the biggest LAN of all time. But I'm excited to meet you guys. And don't be afraid to come up and approach me, please. Like, it's I'm going there to be social. I'm not playing in this event. I'm just signed up as a volunteer, commentator, spectator, all that stuff. So feel free to come up to me, talk to me. Let's take some pictures. Don't hug me. We'll just do a fist bump. If I'm super cool with you, we'll do like the hand shake, bring you in for like a backpack kind of thing. But don't just like straight up offer me or anybody a hug. Like a simple fist bump is kind of the way to go. But I'm excited to meet you guys, and I hope you are excited to meet us as well. I'm bringing my chess set, not because I want to play you guys specifically, but I am challenging Brush to a set. Maybe Magic will want to play, but I'm assuming he'll be super busy as well. But if any of you want to get absolutely destroyed by me in chess, I'd be down for that as well. If you'd like to be a part of the podcast in any way, feel free to reach out my socials below. Twitter, Mr._Popgun, Discord, Popgun, #5882, YouTube at Popgun25, Anchor.fm/Popgun, Blue Sky, just straight up Popgun. There will be a Lowtide City recap next week, and I don't know what all that's going to be, but it's usually going to be pretty cool. And let's go to... It is not going to be on Monday. It is going to be on Tuesday. We are going to be stuck in like Dallas for a long layover on Monday, so we're not even going to be back home until like late Monday night. So the low tide next episode of Popcast is going to be next Tuesday. I'll see y'all this weekend. Let's have some fun.